Hello! I've not been forgetting about Falke, I just have genuinely not had a single worthwhile idea that panned out to anything. I pretty much fucking hitting the bottom of the barrel with this character. Cannot find more tech to use for her other than hyper-specific, like matchup, hitbox, hurtbox interaction, spacing and such, and more like a broad sense, like conservation of buttons, what spaces or what strategy, like what game plan works best with each matchup, which I am not particularly smart at because I am not the best player. But anyways, found some more tech. I have 4 pieces of tech today, only 2 of which I think are particularly meaningful. So I'll get my dumb shit out of the way first. One piece of tech is that this has fairly good amount of active frames. It also has a hitbox that hits pretty low to the ground like this, so it can catch lows as well. So you can throw this out like a fucking Ken light shoryuken sometimes, and it will catch counter pokes, and it's not as bad to whiff as, like, you know. I mean, you'll get whiff punished for doing this, but it will catch buttons. It'll catch movement. It has a lot of active frames. If they poke into it, it'll catch. It has priority. If you get a trade, you get a good knockdown. Yeah, it's not particularly, I don't think it's a great idea, but it works. In certain situations when you can expect a guaranteed counter poke in certain situations, it will consistently get a knockdown in some counter poke scenarios. Beyond that, I even want to, oh, right. I was thinking about how this is built so that you can cancel it on this hit. Like, normally you can't cancel, yeah, like that. Normally you can't cancel just the first hit. You have to wait until the whole thing's done, even if you hit him immediately. But in certain spacings and in certain situations, you can get just one hit to hit. Either the first hit, because it causes pushback, or the second hit, usually if they're standing. But yeah, you can get quick cancels if you're at the spacing to get only one hit, either the first or the second. Doesn't matter. They're both pretty quick. And you can use this as like a solid 8-frame tool. It's not a bad 8-framer in this range doing this special against footsies, but the main gimmick is you want to use this as a quick cancel, like a Ken player would do, like a light into his command run or something, you know? Just a bit less obvious. It's distracting, and when you can cancel something really quickly, you're more likely to get away with it before they can react to what's going on, because they probably won't even register that you've done a Schneide before you're doing the +3. Especially if you get the first hit to connect like that. It's very quick. Block stun is non-existent on the first hit, so it's not exactly frame tight, just like the Ken run cancels. It's just like a quick thing. Alright, now for the more legitimate tech. This works in all sorts of matchups, but generally speaking, you have, well, this is like a decent counter poke button because it has a good hurt box and hitbox situations, and it's, beneficial. But one thing that you can do with this, so I tried doing stand fierce there, I got counter hit. It's got to be at a certain spacing. There you go. So you can counter long limbs with this, more so that, because if you get the right spacing with stand fierce, you can get this big combo when you're in V-Trigger 2. Like so. But if you get it right, you can do the same thing at 2 different spacings. You have counter poke options. You have stand strong, which will cancel a little bit sooner. So you need to be pretty close for that, or far away for that. It really depends on the move, because it needs to be counter hit for it to combo all the way through. But yeah, certain button situations or counterpoke situations, you can beat some long-range limbs. Only limbs that have bad hurt boxes on startup, because they have to be counter hit. So you have to beat them on their startup. But you counterpoke stuff like this, you can get like you can counterpoke Dulcim's standing medium punch from like full screen or this far away, and you can get that full combo going. So certain situations it's pretty beneficial. Beyond that, my last piece of tech is, now for a reminder, I would like to once again remind that Falke's most optimal, highest damaging meaty situation, so when she gets like a knockdown or whatever, her most damaging meaty combo is this. 266 damage. Comparatively, if she lands down forward heavy kick, 256 damage, and that's if you get down forward heavy kick, instead of this much faster and easier to get 8 frame crouch heavy. However, this is a difficult combo because it requires a very precise micro walk forwards. There you go. So that's most optimal meterless, most optimal 1 bar, 2 bar, and 3 bar. That's most optimal in all those situations, in mid-screen at least. But you can't do it off of a jump-in because of the way the spacing works. You're just not as close off of a jump-in. So it can only be done point-blank meaty. As far as I'm aware, if you can get this off of like a jump-in or maybe like a counter-hit jump-in for punishing certain DPs, please let me know, because my execution is not particularly great. So if you can get this, like, micro walk there, walk up, micro walk. Holy shit, I did it. Okay, 324. Alright, so it is possible. Ignore everything. I've literally never gotten that. I've known about this combo for years, never gotten that until literally recording it right now. Okay, so it is possible. And should be easier on counter hit. Execution for that, pretty difficult. That requires 2 incredibly precise micro walks in a row. But anyways, point is, in the corner, it's less relevant because you get this big route. Meterless, that's 294 off of a meaty, versus the measly, like, 260, whatever you get off of this, 266. However, I have now discovered, after many a testing of different options and stuff, this will help you get more damage in V-Trigger 1, in meaty situations in V-Trigger 1. In V-Trigger 1, you normally get, like, I don't know, something like that, 342 versus, or maybe really good damage off of the first hit would be, like, 364 for 2 uses of the V-Trigger and 1 bar versus, you could also do, that's kind of hard to do. But it does work. But anyways, none of that matters because the actual most optimal meterless in V-Trigger 1 is that, 302. With 1 use of the V-Trigger, which is much better than you could do with the same resources doing this route. But more substantially, your 1 bar route is significantly improved by doing this more difficult micro walk combo. Your 1 bar combo gets to about 400. Yeah, this will be easier with V-Skill 1. So 400 compared to, like, 367 that you would get without doing that micro walk combo. So, an extra about 20 damage or so, pretty worthwhile, pretty worthwhile. And you don't need to use V-Skill 1 to do it. Now that I know that you actually can get this combo off of jump-ins, There we go. Alright, so 364 as opposed to 332 versus 355. Not as drastic as I was thinking, but better. 571 stun versus 555. I mean, it's better. Whatever. It's better. It's literally just better. Who cares?